Good morning children. So today let us will see the age of revolution 1832 1848. So between this year 1832 1848 lot of revolutions were happened in Europe continent. So for example, once you see the age of revolution, so first you try to understand what is the title meaning of this concept or this chapter, the age of revolution. So how did you study it in last year? So same way you have to study the age of revolution. So the title itself is showing that the age of revolution between 1830 to 1848. So see, during 1832 1848 the Europe witnessed a great tension and unrest between these years. So 1832 1848 the Europe was witnessed a great tension, great tension and unrest between these years. So many revolutions were happened in Europe continent. So now you see, as conservatives were trying to become more powerful. So between these years the conservatives were trying to become a more powerful. So in previous class we studied about the conservatives. So how did the conservatives came to power and how did the conservatives replaced the liberal nationalism? About this we will learn in previous class. So in this time the conservatives were trying to become more powerful across the Europe continent. Europe continent. So now you see who were the revolutionaries and who were the conservatives. So now let us see, the revolutionaries were attempting hard to bring liberalism and nationalism in Europe. So between these years the revolutionaries, the revolutionary peoples were trying to attempt to bring the liberalism and nationalism in Europe. So you might have studied about the liberalism and nationalism. Liberalism means free, and nationalism means the patriotism. These all were trying to bring by the revolutionaries in Europe continent. See, who were the revolutionaries? The revolutionaries comprised of the educated middle class, educated middle class allies. Now you understand who were the revolutionaries. The revolutionaries were comprised of the educated middle class allies, and also you know about the middle class allied groups. So how did the middle classes were emerged and how they were led the liberal nationalism in Europe, especially in France? About that already we studied in last class. So the revolutionaries comprised of the educated middle class allies. So who were the revolutionaries? The professors, teachers, clerks. This is the most important question for your board exam. So who were the revolutionaries? The revolutionaries were comprised of the educated middle class allies. Who were the educated middle class allies? Professors, teachers and clerks, right? So these, please you remember, professors, teachers and clerks. So these three communities were trying to bring the liberalism and nationalism in Europe between 1832 1848. 1848. So hope you understand about this concept. So how did the revolutionaries were trying to bring the nationalism and liberalism in Europe? So between these times so many revolutions were taken place in Europe. So first one is the first upheaval in France. So in the year 1830. 1830. So in the year 1830 so many changes were happened in Europe, especially in France. So see, in July 1830 the Bourbon kings were overthrown and a constitutional monarch was formed under the Louis Philippe. Louis Philippe. So in previous class we studied, so conservatives were established the Philippe or Louis Philippe as a monarch of the France country. But once again what happened in the year 1830? So in July month the Bourbon kings were overthrown and constitutional monarch was formed under Louis Philippe. Under Louis Philippe. So later the Bourbon kings were replaced and the revolutionaries were established the constitutional monarch. Okay, constitutional monarch. So here don't get confused. Constitutional monarch. Okay, constitutional monarch under the leadership of Louis Philippe. Okay, Louis Philippe, who was the last king of France. Okay, last king of France. So this was one revolution was happened in Europe continent. Another one was the revolution of Brussels. So see, in Belgium broke away from the United Kingdom of the Netherlands. Okay, so these two were not important, and one more is most important for your examination, because about these two revolutions we already studied in last class also and last year also. Now you have to focus on the Greek War of Independence. Okay, Greek War of Independence. See, the Greece was a part of Ottoman Empire since 15th century. Okay, since 15th century, the Greece was the part of the Ottoman Empire. Okay, Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Empire was under the control of Muslim rulers. Okay, so this Ottoman Empire was formed in the 13th century. Okay, 13th century, and this Ottoman Empire was formed by the Osman I. Okay, Osman I was formed the Ottoman Empire in the early 13th century. But the Greece was the part of the Ottoman Empire since 15th century. Okay, 15th century. So it began its struggle in the year 1828. Okay, 1828. From 15th century to 1821, the Greece was the part of the Ottoman Empire. Okay, Ottoman Empire. See here, the Greece was belongs to the Christian people, but they were the control of the Muslim Empire since from 15th century to 1821. So first time the Greek War of Independence was began its struggle in the year 1821. Okay, 1821. See next, the Greek struggle became strong was supported by the sympathetic poets and artists. So when the Greek was started its independence against the Ottoman Empire, the Greek was got support from the sympathetic poet and artists. So many poets and artists were given support to the War of Independence. Okay, War of Independence. So one example, once you see the Lord Byron, who was the English poet. Okay, English poet, he was given support to the War of Independence or Greece War of Independence. See, the Lord Byron, the English poet, who was supported, who was supported the struggle, and he provided funds and also participated in the war. So this Lord Byron was given support to the Greek country, and also he collected fund and given to the Greek peoples, and also even he participated in the war. Okay, in the war. But the Lord Byron was died of fever in 1824. Okay, 1824. So who was given more support to the Greek War of Independence, and even he collected funds, and even he was participated in the war. But what happened in the year 1824? He was died of the fever. Okay, but in the later the Treaty of Constantinople in the year 1832 recognized Greece as a nation country. Okay, Greece as a nation country. After this struggle, the treaty was signed between the Ottoman empires and Greek peoples in the year 1832. That was famously known as the Treaty of Constantinople. Okay, Constantinople. This was recognized as a Greece as a nation state, or Greece as a independent state from the Ottoman Empire. Okay, Ottoman Empire. So hope you understand about this concept. So the age of revolution. So age of revolution, it was started from 1830 to 1848. Between this year, so many revolutions were happened in Europe continent. For example, the France Revolution and the Brussels Revolution and the Greek War of Independence. Okay, Greek War of Independence. So now let us will see the Romanticism. national feelings. So don't think about romanticism means different in different ways. Romantic imagination and national feelings. So how did the nationalism spreaded in Europe, and who was spreaded the nationalism in Europe? About that already we know that. So now let us see how did the romantic imagination created the national feelings in European peoples, right? European people. So romanticism means don't think about the Bollywood or Hollywood cinemas and movies. So now let us begin with the cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of national sentiment through art and poetry, stories and music. Okay, stories and music. In Europe, the nationalism concept or the nationalism awareness did not come through only wars and expansion of the territories. Okay, it come through the cultural movement also. Okay, cultural movement also. So now let us see a cultural movement which sought to develop a particular form of nationalist sentiment through art, okay, through art and poetry and stories and music. Okay, art and poetry, stories and music. Okay, so how it was created? Shared collective heritage, common culture and mystical feelings. Okay, mystical feelings. So through the art, through the poetry, through the stories, through the music, the romantic imagination or the cultural movement created, or cultural movement to spreaded the national feelings among the illiterate peoples in European peoples or in Europe continent, right? See, the criticize the glorification of reasons and science. So these fellows or the romantic imaginaries were criticized the glorification of reason and science. Okay, reason and science. So they cultivated the national feelings through the art and poetry, through the stories and music. Okay, through the stories and music, it would created the shared cultural heritage among the peoples and common cultural and mystical feelings. These all were cultivated among the European peoples. Okay, among the European people. So now let us see here two important questions we will ask in your board exam. So how did the cultural played an important role in the creating of the national feelings, and how did the language played an important role in the nationalism movement in Europe? So here two countries we have to remember. First, Germany and Poland. Okay, Germany and Poland. See, Poland. So Germany and Poland. Germany, you see, the cultural movement played an important role to spread a role to generate the nationalism awareness among the Germanian people. So now let us begin with one example. The John Gottfried Herder. Okay, he was a German philosopher who was cultivated the nationalism awareness among the Germanian people. Okay, Germanian people. So now let us see. So he was created, or he was cultivated the national awareness among the European peoples, and he prepared two concepts. One was the Das Volk and second one was the August. These two concept or two ideas were prepared by the John Gottfried Herder. See here, the true spirit of nation can be popularized through the folk songs, folk dances and folk poetry. Folk poetry. So the true, see here, the true nation can be popularized. The true nation, how we can popularize it? Through the folk songs, through the folk dance, through the poetry. Okay, through the poetry. And see, the basic aim of the Herder was, the aim was to recover ancient national spirit and generate the awareness among the illiterate. Okay, illiterate. What was the main aim of this Herder? See, the basic aim was to see recover ancient national spirit. Okay, recover ancient national spirit and to generate awareness among the illiterate people of the Germanians. Okay, illiterate people of the Germanians. So here cultural movement or the cultural movement was played an important role to spread the nationalism awareness among the Germanian people. So the John Gottfried Herder was given a good contributions to start the nationalism or the nation state awareness among the Germanian people. So if they ask how did the cultural played an important role in the nationalism in Europe, means just to give the German example with John Gottfried Herder. And language. So here also one more basic question. So how did the language played an important role in nationalism in Europe? So if they ask language, means you can give the Poland example. Okay, Poland example. So here the language played an important role to give the awareness about the nationalism through the languages. So basically you see the Poland was divided. Okay, the Poland was involved these countries, the Russia, Prussia and Austria. Okay, Austria, the Poland was divided, or the Poland was distributed between these three countries, the Russia, Prussia and Austria. Okay, and Austria. See here, though it did not remain independent, yet national feelings were kept alive through the music and languages. Okay, music and languages. So in Poland, the Poland was distributed between these three countries also. They did not remain independent, yet the national feelings were kept alive through the music and languages. Okay, the national feelings, how they were kept through the music and languages. Okay, music and languages. See, this proved useful in the case of the Poland, which was proved in case of the Poland, the music and language. So how the music and language was proved an important role to create the awareness of nationalism in Poland? See, this music and languages. So you have to remember these fellows or this poem, this fellows. So the Karlo Korpenski, okay, Karlo Korpenski, he used to depict the national struggle through the operas, okay, operas, turning folk dances like Polonaise and mazurka into national symbols. Okay, national symbols. See, you have to remember about this fellow because he was used to depict the national struggle, how he was depict the national struggle among us, the Poland people, through the operas, means the music instrument. It was turned into the folk dances like, see, the Polonaise and one more, the mazurka. These were created, or these were came into the national symbols of the Poland peoples. Okay, Poland people. See, after Russian occupation, so when did the Russia was occupied the Poland, the Polish language was forced out from the schools. Okay, when the Russia was occupied the Poland language or the Polish language was, see, the Polish language was forced out of the schools and Russian language was imposed in schools and colleges and universities in Poland. Okay, universities in Poland. So the clergy in Poland began to use police as a weapon of the resistance. So when the Russia was forced out the Polish language from the school and colleges, the clergies or the revolutionaries peoples were used a language as a weapon of their independent. Okay, weapon of their independent. Right. So here two basic questions I said you have to remember. If they are asking about the cultural means, how did the cultural played an important role means, you have to remember this. If they ask language means, you can see the Poland examples. Right. Hope you understand about this concept, the romantic imagination and national feelings. Okay, national feelings. Okay. Was created a sense of collective identity among the European peoples, and how did the romanticism was created the national feelings amongst the European peoples. So about that concept just we learned. So now let us see the hunger, hardship and popular revolt. So hunger, hardship, popular revolt. Okay, and this is also known as the economical crisis or economical problems of the European peoples during the 1830s, right? So now let us see, in the year 1830 the economical hardship was raised in Europe continent. In which year? In the year 1830 the economical crisis was raised in Europe continent. Okay, so at the same time what happened, the population was also increased across the European countries. So the increased population, the peoples, the more and more peoples were searching or were seeking the job than the employment. Okay, so when the population was increased in the Europe continent, automatically they were seeking the jobs that was more than the present or the existing employment. So when the population was raised, the peoples from the village to towns, okay, from countryside to cities, the peoples were migrating from village to towns and countryside to cities. So the peoples were started to migrate from the villages to the cities, and in cities they were lived in a large slums. Okay, they were started to live in a large slum areas. So in these crucial areas the Europe was still under the control of aristocracies. Okay, and the aristocracies were not taken any actions on the problems of the Europe. So it was led the rise of food prices in the market. So when the food prices were raised in the European markets, automatically what happened? The peoples were started revolt or the revolution against the monarchical system or aristocracy system. So now what happened? The small producer in towns faced tough competition from imported goods of England. So what happened? So the small producers in the towns, they were faced a tough competitions from the England goods, because the England goods were made up with the machineries and they were cheap in the market. So in front of that goods, the Indian producers were faced a tough competition. Okay, tough competition. So that time they were unable to face the England productions in the market. So these all were led the some popular revolt in Europe countries. For example, in the year 1848. Okay, 1848, what happened in France? See, all these causes, okay, all these causes, which causes, you know, the prices were raised in the market, the population was also increased, the peoples were also seeking the jobs, and peoples were migrating from villages to the towns. So in towns the slums were also developed. These all causes, okay, all these causes brought the population of Paris out on the roads. These all problem what happened in the Paris city. The peoples were came out from their houses and they were started revolt against the monarchies on the Paris roads. Okay, barricades were eradicated and Louis Philippe was forced to flee. Okay, the barricades were eradicated and forcibly these peoples were, okay, flee the Louis Philippe, who was the last king of the Bourbon dynasty. So this was one of the most important popular revolt was happened in the early 19th century. So later what happened? France became a republic. So once again the France was became a republic country. So in that republic country the peoples got suffrages. All the adult males who have about 20 age peoples, they got suffrage in the independent or the republic. Okay, and one more important popular revolt was the Silesian Waivers Rising in 1845. Okay, 1845. See the Silesian Waivers. So why did the Silesian weavers were started revolt against the contractor. So this is the most important, because see, the weavers of Silesia revolted against the cotton contractor for low wages. So why did the Silesian weavers were started revolt against the contractor? Because the contractors were paying a low salary or the low wages to the weavers. So because of this, the weavers were started revolt against the contractor in 1845. So now let us see which were the important outcomes of the revolt. Which revolt? The Silesian weavers revolt. So first one was, the weavers demands were not considered. Okay, not considered. The contractors were not considered the weavers demand. So what they were demanded to the contractor to increase the wages, that was not considered by the Silesian contractor, right? So they were treated with threats with the help of the army. So the contractor were repressed the movement with the help of the army. So before that, what happened, you know, almost all the weavers went to the contractor houses and bungalows. They were attacked on the contractor houses, they were demolished, they were destroyed the houses, even they broke the windows and everything in the contractor houses, right? Contractor houses. So that time what happened? So these all contractors were ran away from their houses. Within a 24 hours, these contractors once again came back with the small army. Okay, small army. With the help of the small army, these people were treated or repressed by the contractor. So in this incident, what happened? The 11 weavers were killed. Okay, 11 weavers were killed by the military. Okay, killed by the Europe. So we can see a case of France. So in the month of February in the year 1848, the working class people's peasantries were started revolution against the monarch in the year 1848 in France. So when the revolution was started, this revolution was led by the educated middle classes. Okay, educated middle class elite was led the revolution in the year 1848 in the month of February in France. Right. So when they were started the revolution, so these peoples were first, they abolished the monarchy system. They abolished the monarchy system. So I think you might know about the who was the last king of the France, the Philip. The Philip was replaced, and there they started the new government. So in that new government, they adopted the republic. Okay, so to achieve republic based on universal male suffrage. When they were adopted the republic, they achieved the universal male suffrage. They granted rights to vote for only men community in the year 1848 in France. Okay, so in other parts of the Europe like Germany, Poland, Italy, Austria, Hungary were not nation state. So in the year 1848, different part of the Europe like Poland, Italy, Austria, Germany, Hungary, these countries were not a nation state. Still in these countries the aristocracy was existed, right? So men and women demanded for constitutional and constitutionalism and national unification. So in the year 1848, especially in Germany, so the men and women demanded constitutionalism and national unification. So what they were demanded, you know, they demanded for the nation state, they demanded for the freedom of the press, they demanded for the freedom of association. Okay, these you have to remember. So in the year 1848, especially in Germany, all the men and women demanded for constitutionalism with the national unification. So they were demanded for the nation state, freedom of the press and freedom of the association. So these were the important demands of the men and women in German country, right? See, on 18th May, okay, on 18th May in the year 1848, 831 representatives joined the Frankfurt Parliament, convened at St. Paul Church. So 831 representatives were joined at the St. Paul Church, and they were adopted the new constitution for the German country. And there who were participated, you know, the professionals, business persons and artisans were prepared a new constitutions for the German country. Okay, German country. They adopted the constitution for the Germany. But what happened? The German nations to be headed by the monarchy subject to the parliament. Okay, these demands were given by these peoples to the monarchy. But the Frederick Wilhelm IV, okay, the Frederick Wilhelm IV, the king of Prussia, rejected it. So what they were offered to the Prussia king, that was rejected by the Frederick Wilhelm, okay, Wilhelm IV. But monarchs, military and aristocracies opposed the parliament. So what they were adopted the constitution and the parliament, no, that was opposed by the monarchs, militaries and aristocracies, and later the military was suppressed this movement, okay, suppressed this movement, and this was disbanded in Germany, okay, disbanded in Germany. So in this revolution the women were also participated. So the women were formed the own political association, they founded their newspapers, but still they were denied the suffrages. Only suffrages were given to the men community, okay, men community. Hope you understand about this, the revolution of the liberals, right? So some of the parallel revolutions were also started in the different part of the Europe. For example, France and some other countries like Germany, okay.